The movie begins in a mysterious and dangerous world that exists thousands of kilometers beneath the surface of the Earth. This place is called Hollow Earth, where giant monsters and deadly creatures roam everywhere. In this dangerous world, we see King Kong walking through the jungle alongside a small ape. Slowly, both of them reach a massive lake, but the small ape secretly wants to lure Kong into a deadly trap. As soon as Kong gets close to the lake, the small ape suddenly becomes nervous because he senses that a dangerous monster is hiding beneath the water. But Kong isn't afraid of anything. He simply smells the air and instantly realizes that prey is nearby. After that, Kong calmly steps into the water and starts bathing. On the other side, the small ape only pretends to drink water so Kong doesn't become suspicious. But just a few seconds later, a giant dragon suddenly bursts out of the lake at incredible speed and attacks Kong. The dragon instantly drags Kong underwater, and an intense underwater fight begins between them. After a while, everything suddenly goes silent beneath the water. The small ape starts thinking that maybe the monster has killed Kong, but in the very next moment, Kong emerges victorious and throws the severed head of the dragon monster directly in front of the small ape. Seeing this, the small ape becomes terrified because now he finally understands just how dangerous and powerful Kong truly is as a titan. Even after killing the dragon monster, there's no happiness visible on Kong's face. No matter how powerful he looks from the outside, deep inside, Kong is completely alone. In the dangerous world of Hollow Earth, he has no one of his own, and for years he has been wandering alone while searching for others of his kind. Living with this loneliness, Kong continues struggling to survive. But Hollow Earth isn't filled with only giant monsters. Deadly wolves are constantly hunting him as well. These wolves always attack in packs and never allow Kong to live in peace. After some time, a massive pack of wolves starts hunting Kong once again. At first, Kong tries to avoid them and begins running rapidly through the jungle. The wolves slowly surround him from every direction and eventually corner Kong near a deadly cliff. Now Kong has nowhere left to run. The wolves believe that this time Kong has finally become their prey, but in reality, Kong had already prepared a trap for them beforehand. The moment one of the wolves jumps toward Kong, a hidden trap suddenly activates, and gigantic spears concealed beneath the ground pierce straight through the wolf's body. Right after that, Kong grabs a massive tree trunk and throws it onto the trap mechanism. As soon as the system activates, enormous boulders placed on top of the mountains begin crashing down, crushing several wolves beneath them. The entire area becomes filled with dust and destruction, but even after all that, some of the wolves still survive and continue trying to attack Kong. Seeing this only makes Kong even angrier. He picks up the body of a dead wolf and uses it to intimidate the remaining wolves, forcing them to flee from the area. Even after the fight ends, Kong is left alone once again. The saddest truth of his life is that despite having so much power, he still has no one he can truly call his own. Even after surviving the deadly fight with the wolves, Kong is far from fully healed. That's when his real pain is revealed. One of Kong's teeth has badly decayed, and the pain gradually becomes so unbearable that even the most powerful titan in Hollow Earth starts looking helpless. Kong repeatedly touches his mouth and roars in anger because of the pain. Despite all his strength, this is one problem he cannot fix on his own. After staying away from humans for years, Kong is finally left with no other choice. That's why, for the very first time, he decides to travel toward the human world himself. When Kong arrives in the human world, the scientists are shocked to see him. Kong walks directly toward them, trying to ask for help, before eventually collapsing on top of a mountain from exhaustion. The scientists quickly realize that Kong hasn't come to attack anyone. He came seeking help. But for safety reasons, they give Kong a heavy dose of anesthesia so he won't become dangerous during the treatment. Within moments, Kong falls unconscious. After that, the scientists begin preparing to remove Kong's massive decayed tooth. They tightly wrap strong steel wires around the tooth and use a powerful machine to pull it out. As soon as the machine applies full force, Kong's giant tooth rips out with a violent jolt. The entire area instantly fills with the horrible smell coming from the rotten tooth. But the treatment doesn't end there. The scientists replace Kong's broken tooth with an advanced titanium tooth that is even stronger than the original one. When Kong finally wakes up, he realizes that his old pain is completely gone. He checks his new titanium tooth and, for the first time in a long while, feels a sense of relief. From that moment on, a bond of trust and faith begins to form between Kong and humanity. Sometime after Kong's treatment is completed, the scientists suddenly receive a mysterious emergency signal. The signal is coming directly from Hollow Earth. It's so unusual and dangerous that everyone immediately realizes something massive is about to happen in the world below. Without wasting any time, the scientists begin preparing a rescue mission. They suspect that a new threat has become active inside Hollow Earth, and to uncover the truth, Kong's help will be absolutely necessary. That's why they decide to head on the mission alongside Kong, using an advanced spacecraft and specialized equipment. Kong can also feel the signal, almost as if something is calling him back. A short while later, the rescue team arrives in front of a giant portal. This is the same dangerous portal that directly connects the human world to Hollow Earth. As soon as the mission begins, the spacecraft enters the portal, and an incredibly powerful gravitational force immediately starts pulling them downward. The spacecraft loses control and begins falling toward Hollow Earth at extreme speed. After several terrifying seconds of travel, Kong and the rescue team finally re-enter the mysterious world of Hollow Earth once again. The moment Kong returns to his world, he instantly senses that something has changed. The environment feels far more dangerous than before, and whatever threat is coming is slowly getting closer to them. Meanwhile, Kong notices a mysterious blue light coming from deep inside a dark valley. The glow is so strange that it completely captures Kong's attention. Wanting to uncover the truth, Kong fearlessly jumps straight into the deep cave. As soon as he descends into the darkness, his ancient axe suddenly begins reacting and starts glowing because of the blue energy. Kong slowly moves deeper into the cave, where he sees glowing crystals and strange energy stones all around him. This place feels completely different from the rest of Hollow Earth, far more mysterious and unnatural. Suddenly, a dangerous sound echoes from the distance. Kong instantly becomes alert and starts following the noise deeper into the cave. As Kong crosses a waterfall, he discovers a hidden underground location that no one has ever seen before. The place is filled with gigantic creatures and ancient structures. During this discovery, Kong suddenly notices a strange creature nearby. At first, Kong believes a dangerous beast might be waiting for him there, so he immediately prepares his axe for battle. But as the creature comes closer, Kong realizes it isn't a monster at all. It's a small ape with yellow fur. The moment Kong sees the little ape, he's completely shocked because after many years, he has finally found another creature of his own kind. Kong slowly lowers his weapon and reaches out his hand in friendship. But because of fear, the small ape bites Kong and instantly runs away from the area. From this moment on, a completely new chapter begins in Kong's life, because for the first time, he feels that maybe he is no longer alone. Just a few seconds later, a gigantic bald gorilla suddenly appears behind him, looking extremely aggressive and dangerous. Kong prepares himself to face the creature, but before he can react, two more long-armed gorillas attack from behind and slam Kong to the ground. There's a confident smile on the bald gorilla's face, as if he believes Kong has finally fallen into their control. But what he doesn't realize is that Kong is the most dangerous titan in Hollow Earth. Within moments, Kong becomes furious and grabs a massive rock lying nearby before hurling it directly at the gorilla. The attack is so powerful that the enemy is instantly thrown far away. After that, a full-scale brutal fight breaks out. In the middle of the battle, the small ape suddenly jumps onto Kong's face and tries to attack him as well, but Kong catches him mid-air with ease. And then the scene suddenly turns hilarious when Kong literally starts using the little ape as a weapon. Holding the small ape in his hand, Kong begins swinging him at the other gorillas and beats them down one by one. Throughout the entire fight, Kong's overwhelming strength becomes crystal clear. The army of bald gorillas realizes that compared to Kong, they are absolutely nothing in terms of power. During the chaos, one of the gorillas accidentally starts falling into a deadly abyss. Kong quickly saves his life, but despite that, the gorilla still tries to attack Kong again. Seeing this only makes Kong even angrier, and he throws the gorilla right back down. By the end of the fight, the bald gorilla becomes completely terrified and runs away, while Kong stands victorious over everyone in the entire area. After defeating the army of bald gorillas, Kong finally captures the small ape and forces him to lead the way to his home or tribe. Terrified, the little ape reluctantly starts walking ahead of Kong. Together, they travel deeper into the dangerous jungles of Hollow Earth. Along the way, strange creatures and gigantic monsters continue crossing their path. Danger surrounds them everywhere, but Kong keeps moving forward without fear. But in reality, the small ape is still trying to escape from Kong. That's why he intentionally leads Kong into a deadly area where a massive dragon-like creature lives. The little ape believes that this monster might kill Kong and finally free him forever. The moment the dragon attacks, Kong instantly confronts it. Within seconds, a brutal fight erupts. The creature uses all its strength to stop Kong, but it cannot stand against Kong's overwhelming power for very long. Before long, Kong kills the dangerous dragon and casually sits down to start eating its meat. Meanwhile, the small ape stands at a distance, staring at Kong with hunger in his eyes, but fear keeps him from getting closer. Kong understands his condition. He tears off a piece of the dragon's meat and offers it to the little ape, but the small ape still refuses to trust him. Seeing this, Kong gets slightly irritated and throws the meat onto the ground, almost as if he's saying, "Eat it if you want, or stay hungry." Eventually, hunger wins, and the small ape slowly walks over and sits beside Kong. The two of them begin sharing the food together. From this moment on, an emotional bond starts forming between them. For the first time, Kong feels a connection with someone that resembles a real family. The entire scene feels less like a dangerous titan sitting there and more like a father spending time with his young child. While traveling alongside the small ape, Kong eventually reaches another hidden region of Hollow Earth. As he moves forward, he notices gigantic apes standing in the distance. For Kong, this moment is shocking because, after years of loneliness, he is finally seeing creatures of his own kind again. For a brief moment, Kong feels like maybe his loneliness is finally over, and that he has at last found his family. But only moments later, he discovers the horrifying truth. None of those apes are truly free. They are living like slaves. They are forced to work and kept under constant fear at all times. During this moment, an old ape accidentally drops a massive rock. The second this happens, a guard gorilla flies into a rage and brutally starts beating the elderly ape. But Kong cannot stay silent after witnessing this. The anger inside him explodes. Kong steps in and lifts the injured old ape to protect him. This becomes the very first time anyone openly stands against Scar King's system. The guards warn Kong not to interfere, but Kong fearlessly stands his ground, staring directly into their eyes without backing down. From this moment on, hope slowly begins awakening inside the other enslaved apes as well. They realize that there may finally be someone who is not afraid of Scar King. This scene becomes the biggest turning point in Kong's emotional journey because now his purpose is no longer just survival. Now he wants to free the apes of his kind. When the guards witness Kong's act of rebellion, they immediately rush off to inform their king. Not long after, the atmosphere throughout the entire cave completely changes. Silence spreads everywhere, and all the apes begin bowing down in fear. Then, from the dark lava-filled region, the most dangerous ruler of Hollow Earth finally emerges, Scar King. Scar King's appearance alone is terrifying enough to spread fear the moment he arrives. He isn't just dangerous, he's unbelievably cruel as well. As he walks forward, every ape in his path lowers their head before him, but Kong fearlessly remains standing tall without bowing. Scar King carefully looks Kong over and then mocks him after noticing his titanium tooth. But in the very next moment, he reveals his cruelty by kicking one of the apes directly into the lava. The second Kong sees this, his anger explodes. Scar King immediately realizes that Kong will never submit to him. That's why he pulls out his deadly crystal weapon and challenges Kong to a fight. Kong instantly readies his axe as well, and a brutal battle between the two titans begins. At the start of the fight, Scar King uses his speed and long-range attacks to his advantage. The energy strikes coming from his crystal whip-like weapon continuously injure Kong. For a while, Kong can barely even defend himself because Scar King keeps attacking relentlessly in pure rage. But the moment Kong finally gets close to him, the entire direction of the battle changes. When it comes to raw physical strength, Kong is clearly far more powerful than Scar King. During the middle of the fight, Kong's axe suddenly slips from his hand, and the situation instantly becomes far more dangerous. During the brutal battle against Scar King, Kong slowly starts gaining the upper hand. When it comes to pure strength, Kong is clearly far more powerful than him. But then, a dangerous smile appears on Scar King's face, almost as if he hasn't even revealed his true power yet. In the very next moment, he activates his crystal weapon, and the entire cave suddenly begins shaking violently. The walls around the lava start cracking apart, and the environment instantly becomes far more dangerous. Then, from within the darkness, two gigantic, glowing eyes appear. A few seconds later, a massive ice titan slowly emerges from the shadows. The creature is so enormous and terrifying that even Scar King starts looking small in comparison. This was Shimo, an ancient titan who once pushed the entire world into an ice age. The moment Shimo appears, the temperature across the entire area instantly drops, and the ground begins freezing into ice. Scar King is controlling Shimo through the power of his crystal weapon, but it's obvious that Shimo is not doing any of this willingly. Pain and helplessness can be seen in his eyes, as if he has been living in slavery for years. Without wasting any time, Scar King orders Shimo to attack Kong. Kong immediately tries to dodge, but Shimo's power is far beyond that of an ordinary titan. With the very next attack, Shimo unleashes his freezing breath directly onto Kong's arm. Within seconds, Kong's arm begins turning to ice. The frost slowly spreads across his entire arm, and the unbearable pain forces Kong to roar in agony. This becomes the very first time Kong truly looks helpless in front of an enemy. The situation grows even more dangerous when Scar King sees the injured Kong and orders Shimo to finish him off. But in that critical moment, the small ape points toward a hidden tunnel and helps Kong escape from the area. Kong realizes that if he stays here any longer, not only will he die, but the entire world could fall into danger as well. From this moment on, the story is no longer just about survival. It becomes a war to save the entire world. After Shimo's freezing attack, Kong is left severely injured. His arm almost completely stops functioning, and now he can no longer fight the way he used to. But the danger is far from over. Scar King sends his entire ape army after Kong to make sure he never escapes alive. alive. In his wounded condition, Kong starts running through the jungle, but behind him, hundreds of enraged apes continue chasing them relentlessly. The entire scene turns into an intense survival chase. Kong can barely keep himself standing, yet he continues pushing forward no matter what. The good thing is that after surviving in Hollow Earth for so many years, Kong had secretly created multiple hidden traps throughout the jungle. As soon as the ape army gets close, Kong begins using those traps against them. Several apes fall into hidden pits and swinging traps. Others get crushed beneath gigantic boulders, but the enemy numbers are so overwhelming that even the traps cannot hold them back for very long. Eventually, Kong gets cornered on a narrow path where his final hidden trap is located. But this time, the ape army is smarter. They notice the hidden vine lying across the ground and immediately realize there's another trap waiting for them. In his injured state, Kong starts believing that his end is near because he is no longer in condition to fight. Then suddenly, gigantic rocks begin crashing down from above, crushing the ape army beneath them. Kong looks up in shock and realizes that he wasn't the one who activated the trap. The small ape triggered it to save his life. This becomes the very first time the little ape helps Kong not just to save himself, but because he genuinely wants to protect Kong. After this moment, the trust and friendship between them grows even stronger. Now Kong realizes that the small ape is no longer just his companion, he has become family. But Kong's condition keeps getting worse, and he is forced to return to the humans immediately, otherwise he won't survive much longer. While Kong is struggling to survive in the jungle in his injured condition, the scientists are also exploring even deeper regions of Hollow Earth at the same time. As soon as Kong reaches the hidden civilization, his condition starts getting even worse. Because of Shimo's freezing breath, his right arm has almost completely frozen and become severely damaged. Kong tries to keep walking, but after only a few moments he weakens and collapses directly onto the ground. The scientists immediately realize that if they don't treat him now, Kong could lose his arm forever. The doctors and scientists examine Kong and decide that his damaged arm cannot be healed through normal methods. That's why they choose to use an experimental mechanical arm specially designed for Titans. Fortunately, inside the underground storage of their old destroyed base, the advanced mechanical arm is still safely preserved. The scientists quickly activate the massive mechanical arm and begin attaching it to Kong's injured arm with the help of gigantic machines. As soon as the arm starts connecting, the special energy and healing chemicals inside it begin spreading throughout Kong's body. The unconscious Kong slowly starts moving. Moments later, his eyes open and he begins feeling his new arm. At first, Kong is shocked, but gradually he realizes that his strength has become even greater than before. He tests the mechanical arm and with a single movement easily shifts massive objects. Even the scientists are left stunned because Kong hasn't just recovered, he has become even more powerful. At that very moment, the small ape comes running out of the jungle toward the civilization and warns Kong that Scar King has discovered the location of the portal and is coming to attack alongside Shimo. Now Kong realizes that in the war ahead, his strength alone will not be enough. To stop world-destroying threats like Scar King and Shimo, he will need the help of another alpha titan, Godzilla. With that decision, Kong prepares to head toward the human world. Kong enters the human world through the hidden portal. The moment his presence is detected on Earth, chaos spreads across the entire world. Meanwhile, Godzilla, who has been in a deep sleep for a long time, suddenly senses Kong's energy and instantly awakens. Godzilla believes that Kong has returned to challenge his territory once again. Because of this misunderstanding, he immediately rushes out to attack Kong without thinking twice. Moments later, the two alpha titans stand face to face. The atmosphere instantly becomes filled with tension. Kong repeatedly tries to make Godzilla understand that he doesn't want to fight, but Godzilla is in no mood to listen to anyone. In the very next second, Godzilla charges at Kong with full speed and slams him away using his massive body. The confrontation instantly turns into a brutal titan war. Godzilla continuously attacks Kong with his claws, tail, and overwhelming titan strength. On the other side, Kong fights back using his new mechanical arm and agility, delivering powerful punches. At one point, Kong throws dirt into Godzilla's eyes in an attempt to calm him down, but it only makes Godzilla even more furious. Godzilla clamps his jaws onto Kong's mechanical arm and violently smashes him into the ground. The entire city-like area around them begins getting destroyed by the battle between the two titans. But gradually, Kong realizes that wasting time fighting Godzilla is pointless because the real threats are Scar King and Shimo. That's why Kong changes his strategy completely. He grabs Godzilla directly and starts forcing him toward the portal so he can bring him to Hollow Earth and show him the true danger. Godzilla keeps resisting with all his strength, but Kong continues pushing him closer and closer to the portal. Eventually, Kong Kong forcibly brings Godzilla into Hollow Earth. The moment Godzilla sees Scar King and Shimo, he instantly understands why Kong brought him there. Now the two Alpha Titans are no longer standing against each other. They are finally fighting on the same side. Meanwhile, Scar King is also fully prepared for the final war alongside Shimo. All of Hollow Earth turns into a massive battlefield. At that moment, the people of the hidden civilization activate an ancient anti-gravity system in order to stop Scar King. Two gigantic pyramids begin connecting with each other, and the moment the system activates, gravity across the entire area disappears. Suddenly, all the Titans begin floating through the air. Even in zero gravity, the battle does not stop. Kong spins through the air while attacking with his axe, while Scar King keeps countering him with his crystal weapon. On the other side, Godzilla and Shimo continuously attack each other using atomic breath and freezing blast. The entire battlefield becomes filled with explosions of blue and pink energy. But then, Scar King suddenly snatches Kong's axe and tries using it against him. However, Kong blocks every attack with the help of his mechanical arm. Still, because there are two enemies, both Kong and Godzilla gradually start getting overwhelmed. Right in the middle of the chaos, the small ape also joins the battle and begins helping Kong by throwing gigantic rocks at the enemies. Meanwhile, Shimo traps Godzilla inside ice for a few moments using his freezing powers. For several seconds, it looks like Godzilla may have finally lost. But in the very next moment, Godzilla unleashes a powerful energy blast and completely shatters the ice before breaking free. Then Scar King suddenly starts running toward the portal so he can launch an attack on Earth itself. Kong and Godzilla immediately leap into the portal after him. During all the chaos, Kong's axe is accidentally left behind on the battlefield, and the final war reaches the surface of Earth itself. The moment Scar King and Shimo pass through the portal, they arrive on the surface of Earth. After so many years, Scar King sees the open sky and the human world once again, and he lets out a terrifying roar as if his greatest dream has finally come true. The people below immediately panic and begin running in every direction because they have no idea how much destruction the world is about to face. Scar King instantly orders Shimo to freeze the entire Earth. Deep down, Shimo doesn't want to do any of this because he has been fighting under Scar King's control against his own will. But under the influence of the crystal, he activates his freezing powers. Within seconds, the sky fills with dark clouds and deadly ice storms begin spreading everywhere. Massive buildings start freezing over, roads begin cracking apart, and the entire city slowly transforms into a frozen disaster zone. Scar King is celebrating his victory when suddenly Kong charges in at full speed and lands a devastating punch directly on his face. The attack is so powerful that one of Scar King's giant teeth shatters and crashes onto the ground. Enraged, Scar King attacks again, but at that exact moment, Godzilla enters the battlefield and immediately confronts Shimo. Now the war splits into two separate battles. On one side, Kong and Scar King engage in a brutal hand-to-hand fight, while on the other side, Godzilla and Shimo turn the entire city into a Titan war zone with their overwhelming powers. During the battle, Shimo once again begins freezing Kong's mechanical arm. For a few moments, it seems like Scar King might actually win. But Scar King makes one massive mistake, so he completely ignores Godzilla. In the very next moment, Godzilla activates his evolved purple energy. His entire body begins glowing with blazing violet light, and his power becomes far more dangerous than ever before. Godzilla unleashes a direct atomic blast at Scar King and destroys his crystal weapon completely. The moment the crystal shatters, Shimo is finally freed from Scar King's control. But even then, Scar King desperately tries reaching the broken crystal fragments so he can regain control once again. At that critical moment, the small ape notices Kong's abandoned axe nearby. He quickly grabs it and with one powerful strike, completely destroys the crystal once and for all. Now Scar King has become completely powerless. Filled with rage, he tries to kill the little ape, but Kong steps in and starts hammering him with devastating punches. In the end, Godzilla and Shimo freeze Scar King together, and Kong launches his frozen body into the air before smashing it into the ground with full force. With a single impact, Scar King's body shatters into pieces, and his reign of terror finally comes to an end. Even after the battle ends, Earth is still trapped in frozen destruction. That's when Godzilla looks toward the sky and releases his massive atomic energy. Slowly, the dark clouds begin disappearing, and sunlight finally starts shining on Earth once again. Shimo is now finally free and peacefully stands beside Kong and the little ape. In the end, Godzilla returns back to his home and once again falls into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, Kong is finally no longer alone. Now he has a family, others of his own kind, and a new world where he can finally live in peace.